Hey guys, so we are here at the Biohackers World Conference in Los Angeles. This is really exciting. I have the privilege of interviewing two extraordinary women who do extraordinary work in the world and are really merging how science and spirituality and energy work together to heal the world and giving people tools. One of my guests is Lisa Piper and Wendy Cohn-Osborne. I want them to introduce themselves by telling us a little bit more about how they connected to start with. So I want to hear from you how you connected, why it was a right fit, and then we'll get into some more questions. But the important thing is, I think we all always want to know what is behind a brand. Who are the extraordinary beings that are creating these beautiful, extraordinary products that are really shifting how we heal the world and how we heal ourselves and those we have the privilege to serve. So we'll start with you, Lisa.
Well, you know, it was during the pandemic, and like many people, I also caught the virus and was very, very sick. And my father happened to be the neighbor of this brilliant biologist who specialized in immunology and virology. So he overnighted me these drops, these molecular formula, and it was in a dropper form. And I took the protocol and I got better. And when I say I was really sick, I was really sick. And I credit this product with saving my life. So meanwhile, I was working on a PhD in natural medicine and knew that I was getting ready to come out into the world with a spiritual system. And when this happened to me, I went up to the farm, really, to see my dad. And I said, Dad, bring me by to see Dr. McMichael. I want to thank him for saving my life. So he did. He brought me out, and I thanked him. And I said to him, why doesn't everybody have this? And how can I help you bring it to the world? And it was that moment that I realized my life was going to take a hard turn, and I had no idea how I was going to do this. So when I got home, I called Wendy, I shared my vision, and I prayed and prayed and prayed that she would see it as well. And fortunately, she did.
That's a beautiful story and a very touching story. And so, Wendy, what ignited you and what made you see that story and say yes?
Well, I saw how sick Lisa was, and when I saw what these drops did for her, I knew that we had something very, very special here. But the interesting part was, we only thought that Dr. John McMichael had one molecular formula that he had 40 years of research on that worked specifically with virus. And what we found out was not only did he have that one, but he had 200 plus patents. And with those patents, the company never really did anything with them. So there were things that they did back in the 1980s and the 90s, and they actually worked with large animals and farm animals. And one of the formulas was actually used on the Kentucky Derby horses. So that's how we developed and chose all of the products in our code kit. And this story just goes from there.
I love that. So we have been chatting a little bit and getting to know each other, and I've been absolutely delighted to learn more about both of you and how you were working, for you, Lisa, in particular, in naturopathic medicine, in the spiritual world. You said you've traveled all over the world to India, and your world was really more of the spiritual world. And then somehow you guys got together and decided, no, we need to merge science. We need to create tools for people to actually learn how to work with energy, protect themselves, uplift their immune system, and feel better. So tell me a little bit more of how that emergence happened.
You know, it's been an interesting journey, because when we got into this, I was more of a spiritual teacher. So I understood energy behind the scenes. You know, I've studied all kinds of energy healing modalities. I'm a Kundalini yoga teacher. I've spent my whole life learning all these modalities. And when this came up, I didn't know anything about bioenergetic therapeutics. So I'm like, okay, let's figure this out. And I started using the product and realizing its potential. And now that we kind of have our words around what it is, and now that we've done some research and we understand the science of what it's actually doing, and we can relate that to the body and the physiological effects. Now it seems like it's coming full circle, because the spiritual aspect is the mental and emotional aspect as well. It's our thoughts are guiding our behavior, and how we think, act, and feel is how we show up in life. And so these are tools to help direct your energy. And when the energy is imbalanced in your body, you're able to restore that balance, and then that automatically resolves your symptoms. However, it is a mindset. And it starts with looking for a solution, and the solution is within. And with our products, they're literally what you're made out of: salt water and energy. So it only makes sense that that sort of product could heal us, because it's already within us.
I love that. And so with that, salt and energy and water. And so the reason why we're having this interview is because we want to learn more about how is that energy created, right? And I think you just said it through the thoughts, through what we're doing every day. But it's important for people to understand that even when we're using these fantastic products, it really matters who created them.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason why we have these interviews, is because I think consumers are more educated today, and they really want to learn, like, okay, I'm going to take this supplement, I'm going to use this, but who are these people that made these, and what are their intentions? And so tell us a little bit about your intentions when you're creating these products. What's the process like? Where do you have them formulated? How are they formulated? When do they get to these beautiful packages? And then, then we'll talk about what each one may complement.
Okay,
Yeah.
so really, I mentioned Dr. John McMichael. He's a pioneer who's been researching these molecular formulas for 40 years. This is his life work. He's well before his time in what he's been able to do, and it really, I feel honored and privileged to be able to be the next generation to carry this forward. So he creates these molecular formulas that are really designed to signal the cells. So when your cells are all in your body oscillating with each other, communicating with each other, among and within the cells, there's all of these dynamics of communication going on. When that communication gets disrupted, an imbalance is created, and you experience that imbalance as a symptom. Now, what his molecular formulas are designed to do is send the signal back to the cell to restore the disrupted cellular communication. Now, what we do is a little bit different. We take his molecular formula and we use this quantum technology that essentially maps the energetic blueprint, or the essence of that molecular formula. It digitizes it into the code, and then the code is infused into the saline solution, which simply acts as a carrier to deliver it to your body. And it's just that simple. The drops are sublingual, one drop under your tongue, and it restores the cellular communication.
That is absolutely simple and amazing. And I really appreciate that, because there are a lot of formulators or products out there where people say, well, this is proprietary. And you just explained quantum physics in a very, yes, in simple terms. And people are very intimidated about what is this energy? What is this quantum physics? And you just made it very simple.
Good.
and transparent.
Yeah.
For people.
We always try and make it as simple as possible, because our products are that. They're as simple as one drop of salt water with energized patterns, right? Energy patterns.
Energy patterns.
And people often, they hear this word bioenergetic therapeutic, and they think it's such a big word. They don't know what it is, but we really try and break it down. And it's really about having the experience of taking one drop. And when you take that drop, depending on the product and depending on the formula, every person has a shift. Some people feel the shift within 5 minutes. Some people feel the shift in an hour. Some people don't even realize that they feel the shift, because a lot of people just aren't aware of their energy, right? But at the end of the day, It's safe for people of all ages. Infants, toddlers, the elderly can take it, and it is not dependent on size or weight.
Okay,
So the
yeah.
same one drop works the same for all. And we have a tagline.
Yeah.
We say that the same one drop works the same for if you're a 5-pound Chihuahua,
I love
a
it.
200-pound person, or a 1,500-pound racehorse.
And when we say the word bioenergetic, really what that means is we're using energy to influence your biology. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
So simple. I love it. So let's talk about some of the products and what you offer. And if somebody were to say to you that doesn't have a specific issue, but they just say, look, I really want to elevate my health. I want to feel better every day. You know, where would they start?
I would start with balance. It's the core of our product line, and it is a daily formula. It's 1 drop under the tongue in the morning and in the evening. And it helps to give your body an immune boost. It helps your body heal itself faster. It helps with the general aches and pains that come with aging. It's just a foundational product, and in our research, we find that what it's actually doing on a cellular level is it's increasing the mitochondrial energy and ATP production. So that's really important because that's how everything starts with mitochondria. It's the energy that's fueling our body. So that is the foundation. And it seems to enhance the efficacy of all the other formulas. So we love that too. We hear miracles when people start combining the different formulas and they share their stories with us, and we're like, really? Your digestive issues cleared up and you were only taking balance and calm? Wow, that's incredible. But, you know, I mentioned calm because it's our superhero. And when you can decrease stress in the body, seemingly unrelated issues automatically resolve. So I know you asked for one product, and balance is the foundation,
Yeah.
but
The foundation.
calm is the superhero. And I think every person on the planet right now could use a little stress relief.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
100%. So can people buy these individually, or do they buy them in a whole set, or how does that work?
They can buy them individually. When we created the code kit, it was really meant for the entire household to use them. So we were very intentional with the size of the bottle. Each bottle, first of all, there are 10 formulas, and there's room to grow. But with each formula in the 15 milliliter bottle, it holds approximately 300 drops. So if one person was taking it 2 times a day, it would be a 5-month supply for one person. And people look at the bottles, the size of the bottles, and they don't even realize that there are that many drops in it. Now, if you're sharing it with a family, of course, the time frame would go down. The travel kit holds 3 milliliter bottles, and the 3 milliliter size is approximately 60 drops. So if you are using a product 2 times a day, it's a 30-day supply. The most important thing is we call it the modern medicine cabinet. And we say, take a look at what's in your existing medicine cabinet, whether you have allopathic, prescription, over-the-counter medication, or you have holistic. We all take a lot of different things, a lot of different supplements, and some people do need the medication. We certainly don't say that it's not necessary to take things that are prescribed for you.
Right.
But the idea is you want to have these things on hand at the sign of the first symptom. So for instance, if you feel a cold or flu coming on, you would take antivirus. This is the formula which was the genesis of our company. And the antivirus formula is the only formula that has a very specific suggested use and dosing protocol.
Okay.
What we've done is we have mirrored Dr. McMichael's molecular formulation because we know that it works. We know that it stops the replication of the viral load. So you take it very specifically. But along with symptoms of cold or flu, you know, your nose gets stuffed, you get chest congestion. So that would be where you would use Breathe. Breathe is our pulmonary formula. So it helps with things like mucus, opening up the airways, But what's also interesting about the Code Kit is these products are not just used as alternatives for the over-the-counter and prescription medication. They're used very holistically with health and wellness. So the same way that Breathe would be used for allergy, stuffy nose, paired with React, which is our allergy formula, it's used in things like breath work. If you take a drop of Breathe, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes before you do your breath work, it opens up all of your passageways and it makes the experience better.
Yeah. So really the point is that because it's literally informed saline solution or energized saline solution, it works synergistically with everything else on the market, whether it's a device such as a microcurrent device or a PMF mat or red light therapy or hydrogen inhalation therapy or anything that you're biostacking to improve your health and optimize your health. This works with that. So it's just synergistic.
That's what it sounds like, and one of the things that I love that you're talking about is that it's synergistic, and you're not saying, hey, don't ever do your prescription medicine. Well, the way I'm seeing it is this could probably help people who are on prescription medicine to maybe mitigate some of the side effects and enhance the benefits.
Exactly.
But I think we are coming to an end here. And I want to thank you both so much for, sharing how you started, the beauty, the love, and the energy that you've put into your products, your journey. I think it's so beautiful when entrepreneurs, when CEOs and doctors and scientists, when we all get together and really share from our heart what we're doing to make the world better and to give our piece. So I want to thank you both for being extraordinary women and bringing these amazing products. And please just tell us, where can they find this? Where can they get it? Where can they find you?
Well, we can be found on social media. We have an Instagram at Code Health Shop. And we also have a website, www.codehealthshop.com.
All right, guys, well, there you have it. Make sure you really learn about the people that are behind the products that you are using, because that will actually enhance how well they work for you.
It doesn't take one conference, it takes multiple. That's why I hope to see you guys in Chicago, Miami. You guys should join my WhatsApp group, and we all truly become friends.